Okay. Oh, I'm all set. I got my beer, and I'm ready to catch up. What are you drinking?
Tea.
Tea?
Herbal tea.
Are you kidding me?
It's late.
Yeah, but Eric, you're basically making me drink alone here.
Well,
Hello.
Miguel, I'm one of the select few for whom booze is a day job and an evening job and sometimes well into the night job. As a bartender, drinking at work is expected. So as a rule, I keep an alcohol-free home.
A rule.
Okay, more of an aspiration. I don't claim to be a saint.
Well, I will drink to that.
Huh?
The last thing the world needs is more saints. Ugh.
How's the family?
Good. Good. Can't complain. How's Brooklyn?
Oh, that's not fair. You just have to account for a wife and 2 kids. Meanwhile, I have to account for all of Brooklyn.
Not all of it, just a little piece of it.
Well, it's good. No, the bar's doing well. The owner's so happy that he never comes around anymore. I got a good crop of regulars. Yeah, you might even call them friends at this point. There's a couple, Doug and Rebecca. I went to their wedding.
Damn. When's the last time you were at a wedding?
It was yours, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't mine.
Right.
We remember we kept it small, right? You know, just family.
Right. No, I remember.
So?
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's good. It's home.
Really? Ain't no more moving around?
No, I'm settled, I think.
Don't you miss? I mean, I don't know. I mean, as long as I've known you've moved between cities, but that's not how you grew up. I mean,
Are you asking me if I miss Tennessee? Is that what you're fucking asking me?
yeah. Well, not Tennessee specifically, but somewhere quiet. I mean, less crowded, more rural.
No, I don't miss Tennessee or any place that even remotely resembles it.
You know, there's a certain peace that comes from moving to a little tiny
city
small
boys who move to the country.
Altoona, Pennsylvania is hardly the country.
Well, it's a damn sight more Pennsyltucky than Pennsyljersey.
It's come on, it's only like 2-hour drive to Pittsburgh.
Well, that's a hell of a commute just to live somewhere that sounds like a city Bugs Bunny should have made a left turn in.
Very fucking funny.
Yeah.
You know, we have a world-class candy store here.
That doesn't do anything for me.
Why not?
Because I'm not 7 years old. Are you trying to get me to move to Pennsylvania?
No, I just... You need a family, Eric.
Not really. No.
You do. Man, I'm not one of those guys, I mean, who thinks that a person can have a full life without a wife and kid. I just think that you can't.
And what exactly are you basing that on?
30 years of friendship.
I think you have to separate what you know about me from what you want for me.
No, I don't think I do. Because I've been where you are. And I know best.
You have not been where I am.
I grew up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
On the Lower East Side. I know what's it like to sleep on a fire escapes and leave sneaker prints in hot tar in the summer. I knew every roof along Orchard Street and what it means to climb up into a tenement sky. I know the allure. I know the romance. I know how it feels when it turns sour.
It's not sour.
Huh, not yet.
Not ever.
It's a city. It's a city that shifts constantly, reinvents itself radically. It's not a home. It's barely a place. You need a home.
People who flee New York are the worst kind of gutless.
Oh, okay. People who think that way weren't here in the 70s.
It's not the same New York. It hasn't been that New York for decades.
Yeah, and that's the fucking point. I remember 1975. I was 13. Up and down every street, from the Lower East Side up through Midtown to the South Bronx, there were these pamphlets with a hooded skull that said, "Welcome to Fear City." They were distributed to tourists by the police union. The pamphlets contained helpful tips such as, if you're not in your hotel by 6 p.m., you'll likely be stabbed to death. I mean, the mayor's office, the cops, the FDNY, the federal government, they were content to light the corpse of the city on fucking fire. I mean, growing up in a small town, did you ever see the skeleton of a city? Like not a ghost town, not an abandoned, boarded up place, but streets of bare infrastructure. That's what New York was back then. Every burned out storefront was a rib in an empty chest. No heart, no breath, just brutal, terrifying emptiness and the stench of rotting garbage. Like any good corpse, it was teeming with life. Us, New Yorkers. The full-on putrefaction of the body politic. But we may do, right? Yeah, I have a photo of my dad playing dominoes in an old cafe. No windows, no door, the ceiling half caved in, but there he was with my uncles at a table, slapping down so hard the wall shook. There was music. It was activism. Despite the fact that we were all left for dead. I mean,
yeah, but isn't that the beauty of New York, though?
20 years later, I can't afford to live there. I can't afford to raise a family on a teacher's salary. That's some fucking shit, right? I mean, to grow up brown or black in New York, to hang on, to build communities, to be artists, activists, agents of change, and then to have rich white folks come in and grab it all from under you. To have the city government support and encourage that robber baron shit. First you survive a place, then you grow to love it. Then it breaks your fucking heart. can't live uptown. You can't live downtown now. Be honest. I mean, are you comfortable in Brooklyn? Rent's going up every year. You think you're ever going to be able to buy a place?
Oh,
The promise of America has always been a fucking home, like a real goddamn home. And you can't have that in the city anymore. I mean, look at you, man. You're a good-looking dude. You're smart as hell. You're funny. You're kind most of the time. But you do, but did you even know your neighbors? I mean, you have no girlfriend. Your friends are regulars, but they're your fucking customers. And sure, maybe Dave and Jen,
Doug and Rebecca.
Doug and Rebecca. Okay, maybe they're really your friends, or maybe you served them on the night of their engagement, and they felt moved to invite you. Or maybe they just felt sorry for you. But I'm definitely your friend for so many years. And you got other friends out there too. And you need a bus, a train, and 2 Amtrak routes minimum to see any of us. Doesn't that tell you something? Doesn't that say something about family?
I left my family years ago.
I know you did, but I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about parents or brothers and sisters.
You never had to do that, though, did you? You never had to leave a family. Do you know how you do that? How you leave your family? The method? It's the same way you leave everything, in fits and starts. Each time you get a little bit further down the road out of town, you leave your family out of desperation, knowing that there are no better places, just less worse ones. There is no shining city in the night, just night. Endless and dark and terrifying, and you have to choose between the terror of being alone and the horror of being with family. New York comes with no fucking promises, just challenges. Oh, and rewards if you're strong enough.
Yeah, well, I guess I wasn't strong enough then.
Well, that's for you to decide. You had a different relationship with New York than I do. So you can talk shit about an ex all you want. I've lived all over, and New York is my least worst place. And I'm comfortable with that. It's a city of people who pull their hats down and look at the ground when they walk. I'm very much one of those people.
When you move out, out of the city, people start looking you in the eye. I admit, it's a little unnerving at first, but it's really nice after a while.
Oh yeah. In the South, they've always got some eye contact going on and a big smile and how do you do? And its most vicious fuck you is often expressed in the phrase, well, bless your heart. I prefer to spend my days in a place where when someone means fuck you, they say fuck you. I'm a simple man, Miguel.
I'm finding it really hard to believe that you're staying in New York just because people say fuck you.
I'm not.
Please.
Obviously I'm not. And I appreciate your looking out for me and wanting me to be happy, but I promise you, this is my version of happy.
It's just impossible for me to believe that.
Oh God, look. Let's not do this now. It'll be Christmas soon, and I'll be with you and your family out there in Altoona, which I believe is actually 1 subway and 2 buses away. And this will be our argument in your study late at night over glasses of whiskey. I found a really excellent bottle that I'm looking forward to.
We can't host you this year.
What?
We can't. I know it's my turn and all, but we can't host you for Christmas this year.
Oh.
Carolina's mother is sick and she can't travel, so we're doing Christmas at her house this year. So
You don't have to
be
explain.
come on, I do. We're going there, and we're going to stay the week because Carolina, she really thinks this might be her mother's last Christmas. So, you know what? we can still get together in the new year.
It's okay.
Huh?
It's okay. I get it. Looks. Yeah. Well. Looks like I can tell my boss I'm available to work Christmas Eve.
Oh, come on. No. Come on. Don't do that. Please. Don't tell me that you're going to work on the holiday. You're going to make me feel like a shit.
Well, damn, Miguel, I certainly don't want to make you feel like a shit.
I know I fucked up, okay?
You didn't fuck up. I mean, shit happens.
Is there anywhere else you can go? Bobby's, Jane's?
No. They got full houses, and I don't want to burden them. It's fine. At least if I work, I'll have company.
Yeah, but that's not family.
All the better.
Eric. Man, I know it's hard, but your parents, I mean, they're still in the old house, and they have to be getting up there now.
Well,
right?
they're closing in on 90.
And you got brothers and sisters in the same town.
Most, I think.
Most, you think?
I think one died. My older brother Rance, I think.
Jesus. Eric, I mean,
when you cut off communication, this is what happens. You have to get right with the idea you won't know when they die. And I'm okay with it. And I know that sounds so cruel and so callous, but so is my childhood. Did I ever tell you about my little brother, Jesse?
No,
He was the only one I liked. He was the only one I felt any kinship with.
Okay, I mean, then how about you go back just to see Jesse? I mean,
he's dead.
Oh, when did he die?
Oh, he was stillborn. It was the spring of '64. And my mother had given birth at home, and I mean, they live just outside Camden, really rural, yeah, but they could have made it to the hospital for the birth. But the story goes that after Patsy Cline's plane had gone down less than 3 miles from our house, my mother had taken to a bed in a fit of depression that lasted the better part of 2 years. Now, I don't really remember my mother as much of a music lover. And knowing my father, there were other reasons for her to hide out in bed all day. Anyway, there she was, giving birth at home. And little Jesse, well, he was dead on arrival. I was 7 at the time, and I remember my father being so damn mad. First, he blamed my mother for being sickly and stupid. Oh, then he got around to blaming Jesse himself, saying it was his own damn fault for being too weak for this world. And my father got it in his head that he was going to bury Jesse out back because weak boys don't deserve no more dignity than an old dead dog. Now, my family, in a rare moment of decency, pleaded that we take him to town for a proper burial. But he would have none of it. Ain't spending hard-earned money on a weak little thing like that. So that was the final word. He grabbed a spade and the shoebox they laid my brother in, and he dug a shallow grave out back. And that was that. No words were said over him. No marker was placed there. Well, except by me. Of course, the trick was to mark it in a way that my father didn't know I was marking it. So I searched all over back behind the house and into the woods until I found the perfect rock. I mean, Tennessee, man, something about the land that produces some really beautiful yellow-green crystals. And I marked his grave with that. And I would sit out there a lot and just talk to Jesse. I would imagine him asking me what he was missing by not getting to be alive. And I had to be honest with him. I said, Jesse, you're missing absolutely nothing.
That's fucking horrible. I am so sorry.
It's okay. I just told you that story to show that I have a very different idea of family than you do. I mean, how could I not? You're pushing me in a direction I just can't go. I've been all over and I made friends, and I don't think I ever really fell in love. But I love my friends. And I got used to being alone because none of you are anywhere near me, and that's okay. There's really no other way this story could go.
Do you think you could forgive them? It could ease your burden.
And Miguel, you can take the boy out of the Catholic school.
Forgiveness is a powerful thing. I didn't have a dead brother in the backyard, but I have 4 brothers and a mother in a 1-bedroom apartment. And I had a father who drank every time he lost his job. And let me tell you, in a 1-room apartment, you are always at arm's reach. And I grew angry. I was really angry in my 20s. A real fuck up. But I forgave him. And I made my peace. And when he died, I was actually able to mourn. And I was able to look my kids in the face. I know I was a better father than he was. I was never prouder to be me than in that moment. Forgiveness. Forgiveness, it's a fucking miracle cure.
Do you know what a mandrake root is?
It's poison, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's shaped kind of like a man with arms and legs and hair. And the folklore around it is that if you want to harvest it, you've got to tie a string to it, and then tie that string to an animal, and then get the fuck out of there and let the animal pull it up from the ground, because when you uproot a mandrake, it screams. And they say that scream sends anyone that hears it straight to hell. You know, I really hope that's what my leaving home was like. When I finally left for good, I pounded on the steering wheel of my truck, and when I pulled out of the driveway, I screamed, and I never looked back. And I dearly hope my scream sent them all to hell. Forgiveness is not an option.
I'm not sure what to say.
Well, if I can keep you on this call a little longer, I think I'd like to go get that bottle of fancy whiskey I was going to bring to your house, and I'd like to pour a glass, and I'd like you and I to have a Christmas drink tonight. Months away and miles apart.
I'd like that. I'll even sing you a Christmas carol.
Please don't.
Oh.
You have a terrible voice, and I've suffered enough.
I will drink to that.
Yeah. I'll go get the bottle.
I'll grab another beer. Hey. I miss you. And I love you. Eric. Like familia.
I love you too, to the best of my ability.